like we're live. So I hope the microphone setup picks up okay. It seems to be. I'll try to speak in the direction of the microphone. So hello everyone. Oh hey Rob. I saw your comment on Facebook. Rob and Miguel, how's it going? Yeah, I guess we're all in the same time zone, so it makes sense. Yes, I just wanted to finally open up this the box Kill Team. So I had a shipping mistake, and so it's been a while to get this fixed, and customer service was not very helpful at all. I mean, it seems like they've got an okay system, but yeah, the options weren't great. Basically, it was so they sent the wrong language. Basically, I got Japanese language instead of English because of something I'm suspicious of. They're pulling their support gradually from Japan because they're launching in China soon. So we'll see. Because already White Dwarf is there's no longer a Japanese edition of White Dwarf, and I can see soon they will stop localizing things for Japan, depending on how the sales are. I have no idea what they're looking at, but the White Dwarf thing was wasn't a good sign. So let's see. We can do this here. So yeah, so give me a yell in the chat if there's any technical issues aside from the glare on the table. My soft box is just not soft enough. All right, so let's get this started. So hello and welcome to another unboxing. So today we are doing the new edition of Kill Team, the Kill Team Octarius box. So the very tempting box that included the Death Core, plastic Death Core of Krieg, and new plastic Kommandos, Orc Kommandos. So that was a real hard thing to pass up on. But I'm sure we'll see these as individual kits. But the thing, and also there's great terrain in this box as well. The thing I'm not excited about is looking at the new rules. I mean, it could be a blessing to get away from what they were trying to do with first edition. It seemed like they never quite got that sorted. But yeah, let's take a look inside of this. So this is, here's the big box cover, and quick look in the back. Actually, let me get the plastic off so we can actually see this without glare. All right, so let's take a look at the back of the box without the plastic. It helps a bit. Yeah, the box is still a little glossy, so I'm gonna have to give it an angle. So this is it. Second edition Kill Team. And I've read a little bit and watched a little bit about the new rules, haven't played it, so I'm very curious how this is going to go. And Kill Team has a special place in my heart. The first edition, it was it really let me find people to play with, to get more people to play with. I didn't get that many games of 8th edition in, and we played a lot more Kill Team. And I actually had people that bought boxes of minis so they could put together kill teams, and had a pretty nice variety of games with a bunch of different players, which is not not the same situation with full 40k. So yeah, here we are. So in the grim dark of the 41st millennium, squads of elite warriors stalk each other and do battle through the hazardous warscapes. So Kill Team is a squad-based combat game where every warrior counts. Yeah, it seems like they're making an even bigger point of that. So inside, like you can see, we've got the books of the specific setting, the Octarius, which I guess it is going to be something that's going to get into the 40k storyline as well. The manual, and then their cards of objectives and abilities and things. So here's what we're looking at as far as the miniature. So here's the Death Core in plastic and Kommandos in plastic, which have been, I think, just in Finecast for a while. Actually, I think I've got behind me my Finecast orcs, so we can take a look at how they look and if they'll actually work together if the look is similar enough that they'll be compatible. But, well, so this is a nice thing to see, made in the UK, which may not be may not be here for long. It seems like more and more of their stuff is made in China, so we may not see this Union Jack as often as we did in the past. But let's hope. So let's take a look. So I love the artwork on the cover. That's a great painting of the Death Corps troop. And it's the same heavy-duty, thick-as-hell box. Oh, and it's orange inside now, not even white. Yeah, nice heavy-duty box. And behold, the plastic crack. So this is the terrain right on top. So there's a bunch of very orky terrain, which I was happy to see. Some of it is repeats, I think, from the Speed Freaks box. Some of the smaller kind of scatter terrain, and there's nothing printed on here. I have a feeling that, yeah, it doesn't specify. I have a feeling that, because that started with previous Kill Team and some of their earlier terrain sets, that this plastic is actually Chinese. This heavier, thicker plastic. It doesn't say anything specifically on the sprue. There's no dates or anything, just little codes, which makes you suspicious. But yeah, look at that. That orky, all patched together, nasty looking terrain. Yes, this is like a big oil derrick, or oil. Yeah, derrick, I think is the, yeah, there's the pump itself. So yeah, some really nice, nice looking stuff. And here's the new weirdness. So we'll set that aside for now. And yeah, these look like the which I'm sure were done, because they were done in like red plastic. I think I'm sure those were done in China. Yeah, it's 2020 Games Workshop. The Speed Freaks, that seems to mesh with the Speed Freaks Orc release. So that's a previous existing sprue. And here's more. Yeah, it's that nice heavy plastic though. Their terrain, it's really thick. All the stuff they've done for, I think ever since like the doors and things for the latest edition, or the last edition of Space Hulk, it was really heavy, thick plastic. But yeah, wow, looks good. Yeah, this will be really fun to paint and distress. And another sprue. Yeah, so these look like two identical, and they are. I just hope there aren't any errors in this box. I had a big enough challenge getting it. Actually getting it here. All right. And here are our Commandos. Oh, nice. So, not everything. Yeah, there's a lot of people. No full bodies there. That's a good thing to see. They've been really doing crazy monopose lately, although it doesn't look like there's a lot of variation. But yeah, the monopose is getting out of control with their boxes. Oh, look at that. And they really can't do that, can they, for Kill Team? Because Kill Team is you're customizing your units, so they have to be. That's the one thing that will keep Kill Team fun, is you're going to have more variety. A lot of the starter boxes for the other games are getting very sorry, get you some focused on all the orky bits. Yeah, that's one good thing about Kill Team is you're individualizing specific models, and you're encouraged to do that, which is strange. If things are getting more monopose, then that means they're going to be less and less usable in Kill Team. So there are. Oh, and here's another big sprue of orcs. Yeah, give you some peruse these a little bit. Yeah, they look very tightly packed and very, wow. Yeah, pretty close. I'm going to turn around behind me and grab, since we're looking at these now, and grab my orcs, because that's more turn. Wow, only one sprue, yeah, because they're so tiny. One sprue of Deathcore. All right, let's take a quick look. In comparison here. So, yeah, I wonder scale-wise how they're going to do. So here's one of my fine cast. It's just done, just contrast flats, no real detail yet. But so this is resin, or fine cast, whatever fine cast was. And here's the orc. So I think we're pretty close at the same. These guys are pretty chunky, the original Commandos, the fine cast Commandos. So it looks like once we've got the head and equipment on, we're going to be pretty close to the same scale. They didn't downgrade us at all. Let's do a compare another. Yeah, I think we're going to be okay. I hope so. Yeah, it looks like. But, and the look too, let's see if we can find a head. I think they got the similar look to them. But yeah, so this is the these are the sculpts that we've been dealing with for so long in lovely resin. So we'll see see how they compare in the plastic. Yeah, maybe I'll do it when I assemble this stuff. I'll do more of a comparison, and that will involve building a list. So yeah, we had the two. Yeah, so this is all accessories. Yeah, so we had like 1.5 of the big sprues with a little accessory, a smaller quarter size accessory sprue for our Commandos. And then here is the Death Core. Let me turn the right side here. Yeah. Yeah, these Kill Team sprues will be nice because there's so much on them. So many bits. A lot of stuff to be done. The coats look great. The rifles. Yeah, so just a single sprue. And I heard that you're actually not, like, compared to when you build a list, you're not even getting a full list. You're getting enough to play with, but you're actually going to have to add units. Because, units get knocked out, similar to, like, Necromunda and things. Units can be out of commission, and they need replacement, and we don't have that. Look at all the, even the grenades. Yeah, some great looking bits here. And of course the shovels. Plenty of shovels. Wow. Yeah, so it's amazing to see this. Here's just a get close up on the helmets so you can see. Yeah, they're looking good. And they're very guard scale, very human scale. Nothing chunky about them. That's an interesting thing with new, and I've noticed that with Age of Sigmar too, is the more realistic scaling of things. So not that chunky heroic look, which you do get with power armor, but the humans are getting more human sized with thin arms and things. So we'll see if that continues. So that's the Death Core, and then we've got two more of the identical, here's identical sprues for more terrain. But these are so heavy, you can just tell like how thick that is. So nice heavy terrain pieces. So I wonder though, because there are like specific terrain rules now, so there's probably one way to build these. So you're going to end up with a very specific piece of terrain. And then their little insert to save you from getting your box scratched, your books all scratched up. Nice. Yeah, that art, it doesn't seem to have the same kind of orange edging on this, the box cover. Yeah, see, look, that's odd. Is this an earlier version? Oh, they're all shrink wrapped together. You see the, an earlier version without the orange highlighting. The orange highlighting is what makes that piece look nice and dramatic. Yeah, the plain version. So yeah, here's all the books and instructions. Here's all of our cards, the very plain dice. They couldn't even change the one into anything. And our bases, and then our board as well. Oh, and that's right, and transfers for both Commandos and Death Core. So there's our board. So let's start opening some of this and see what we're looking at. Yes, I guess I'll do some assembly. So I really do want to do, comparison of new and old. I haven't seen that online yet. New and old Commandos. Right. Yeah, this is looking very Speed Freaks looking. I hope this is two-sided. Yeah, because Speed Freaks is orky, but it's not very commando-y. Yeah, so that's basically what we've got. The probably the board from Speed Freaks. That would be really depressing if it was. It very well could be, because it looks like it's all vehicle debris. Yeah, and here's the other side. Oh, there we go. So the other side. Whoa, smacking the camera. The other side with the same orky debris. All right, well. It could be the Speed Freaks board. That would be depressing, but we've got Speed Freaks terrain in here, so not completely surprising. Yeah, they just announced at Gen Con another expansion to new Kill Team already with Sisters and I'm totally blanking. Sisters of Battle against someone, but it's all new. New miniatures, but it's old terrain. So here's our core book. Nice full color, and they're doing that real graphic, a lot of orange with the black. Yeah, the real graphic looking art, as well as still the paintings and photography. So we'll take a flip through this after we get everything opened. And here's the Octarius book with all of our probably specific rules for these two teams and all their stat lines and everything. And you notice already the silliness, these silly little shapes. And I've got a theory about why they're doing this. And it has to do with inches and centimeters. Yeah, so they're doing new symbols and things for the rules. And, it's a shame that they've moved away. I have all of my previous counters in coin cases. They make for collecting coins. They make those little those clamshells. So now we've got fewer actually circular tokens. They've got a lot of triangular tokens and things. So I'm not going to be able to put them in plastic cases. They're going to have to get frayed and messed up. Yeah, so here's all of our our symbols for what's happening, and then the instructions. Yeah, they're now full color instructions are pretty standard. Yeah, so and terrain too. Yeah, so everything is all in one. I guess it's not that many minis, so not that hard. The Commandos look good though. I'm happy to see that. Yeah, so terrain and our instructions. So the dice are just dice. They're just those little 12 millimeter, geez. 12 millimeter, and not even a very bright orange, kind of a dim orange, and maybe enough to play, maybe almost enough to play. And the bases are the bases, and I think it's all 32s. Oh no, there's some. So Deathcore, whoa, does that mean Deathcore goes on 25s and Orcs go on 32s? Yeah. We can find that out right now, can't we? They're starting to put that in the instructions, thankfully. Yeah, Deathcore is on 25. There we go. Interesting. Yeah, so Deathcore is on 25. Orcs on 32. As per the rules for the assembly book. Yeah, that's strange. I mean, there are some miniature games that have really leaned into specifying, the base size for everything. And even like on the unit cards, they'll put base sizes and things. Like Malifaux does that. But Games Workshop never has. So here's our cards. Wow. Real minimal effort on these cards, guys. Jeez. Yeah, so some real, yeah, not even great backs, not even art, painted art on the backs. Yeah, just the information that would be in the book. Wow, yeah, because the previous version, the specific cards had nice painted backs, so you could you could see the difference between the factions and stuff. Yeah, so just 2 cards, and this is all, I guess, the generic. Yeah, all the generic stuff. So maybe 2 identical decks of cards. Well, that's not much value added. There's not any specific reason. So are they actually selling? Is this like a step down and they're selling like more premium cards separately? That would suck. I wouldn't put it past them. Let's take a quick look at the decals if I can get them from. Yeah, so all of your Orky clans. And of course these aren't Kill Team only, so you can actually use them on whatever. And oh, yeah, these probably haven't, well, hard to see the white, but all the Death Corps markings and insignias. Wow, very cool. That's cool to see. All right, yeah, so 32 and 25. Okay, so let's make some room here. So this, yeah, we'll take a look at the book and we'll show you the things we're looking at here. Let's put this back in. Yeah, so I had a heck of a time. When they did the pre-order on the Japanese website, they had one option. The Japanese Games Workshop website is in English. There is some minimum Japanese text, but for the most part it's in English, and if you select a delivery, it says Japan and English. So there isn't like a full, or I guess that there may be, but their default is an English translation. We don't need basis, do we? English translation. And so there was one option, or there were 2 options. There was the made to order, which means you could get it in up to 6 months if the original stock had sold out. But because of Japan time, we're like almost a day ahead. So everything was available, and I was able to order it, and it just by default sent the Japanese language version. And customer service was, they just gave me the options. I can send it back and then wait for a made-to-order one, which could, be up to 6 months, or go to the local shop and see if they have one in English and just swap them. And the sales guy at the local Warhammer store was pretty freaked out. I guess he'd never had to do that before, but it was their mistake. There is no, they don't give you any of the their cataloging numbers, or the serial numbers or whatever for the box themselves, so you can't differentiate. Of course, they in their spreadsheet say, yeah, this is the English one, this is the Japanese one. And if it was just miniatures, it wouldn't matter. If it was just miniatures and instructions, it doesn't matter. But it's, the whole rule book and everything would also be in Japanese. So yeah, it freaked the poor guy out, and he had one heck of a time. So I think it's the first time he's ever had to do something like that. But here we are. Okay, and also, we'll take a look. The other thing that was part of that is the Compendium, or the other thing I picked up as a Compendium. And this was an insane waste of everybody's time. It reminds me of the indexes that they made to kind of tide you over between 7th and 8th edition. Really a waste of paper. They could have just put this out as PDFs. I don't know why they wanted to sell this kind of tide you over trash. But anyhow, let's take a look at the core book. So yeah, hopefully so it's crediting Games Workshop, but let's take a look, because I know the Compendium is not. Okay, so yeah, already this is so deceptive too. They're starting to do this. Like, a lot of people are getting so tricky with this nonsense. They'll like order all the parts from China and assemble them in Japan and call it and say made in Japan, That's the thing that they're starting to do. Now they're doing this. So you're still seeing this Union Jack. So, oh, okay. I'm relieved. Designed in the UK. Wait. And printed at CNC in China. So the lower quality, and you can usually tell by the cheap glue that they do with the square bound books. They usually have a stink to them that books published elsewhere don't. They just use cheaper materials. So yeah, so all these books now, which are the same ridiculous prices they used to be when they were printed in the UK, are now printed in China. So that's why their stock is doing so well, because they just got themselves 200% profit on all their printed materials automatically. Wonderful. All right, so welcome to Killzone. So yeah, they're giving the background. Oh, cool, and some specific, so specific kind of fluff for where this kind of chronologically takes place and why there are kill teams fighting over certain areas. And here's, so this is pretty much everything that was in the box. And it's not, I think it's the same size, the same size board as previous Kill Team, which was smaller than 40K, because I also know like the 9th edition 40K size down there tables as well. So there's their shot of the whole set. Collecting. So your Citadel miniatures aren't just components to play the game with. They are a collection of characters and protagonists of your tale. All right. Yeah, but the thing that I liked, and I think that actually started with the what was it? The Armageddon Blood War. Blood War. They started to just put labels on the boxes that just said, compatible with or buy this box and you have an army for, Armageddon. Was it Armageddon? Yeah, the thing that happened before they re-released Necromunda, they did kind of a half step into Kill Team, kind of like a hybrid between their Fire Team and Kill Team. What would be the Kill Team release? Was that Blood Wars? I think Blood Wars Armageddon. And they would just, mark some of the boxes, the pre-existing boxes that said that they were, they would work well with that game. I mean, now they're not really going to be able to do that as things move forward. I don't know. We'll take a look at the compendium and you will see. So talking about, the game itself, action-packed. And yeah, so the previous Kill Team was just very much a scaled down 40K 8th edition rule set. And so you played it very much like mini 40K. And then that was a good gateway to kind of bring you into how that game went. Like just the thinking and the strategy and the phases of that game on a much, much smaller scale. But we're done with that now. We're actually going to an actual skirmish miniatures game where we're doing alternating activations. So we're going, one unit back and forth. So kind of action reaction. 10,000 years of war. So here's our backups, or here's our fluff for everything. Yeah, there's some nice artwork to kind of cover the Tau, I think. Is it Tau? I can't remember. Who is it's sisters and somebody in the next expansion. And there's more of that real graphic kind of ink brush drawn with the extreme coloring. Oh, is this actually some fiction? Yeah, wow. That's been a while. Those are real common, definitely in the 90s. Like every game book, miniatures game or anything had some fiction in it to kind of reinforce the setting. So here we go. Because they have, Black Library, so you can get all the fiction you want from there. But I haven't seen it in rulebooks in a while. Yeah, so they're going to, I guess each of their expansions is going to be like a new theater of war, basically. And hopefully it'll all connect in. to the narrative. Hive, Usharov. Oh, Gene Stealers. No, maybe Tau? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because they're sisters. Wow. Yeah, so they're opening up to more. Oh, yeah, that's the new one, right? The Chenelth Expanse. Yeah, so I guess the Compendium seems like they're opening it to everyone, but for this setting at least, they're kind of limiting who's involved in specific theaters to specific factions. So, Space Marines, Militarum, Sisters, Mechanicus, Custodes. I think Custodes, the funny thing about the list, we'll look in the Compendium, I think like your kill team is literally two, two Custodes. It's just a duo. So Grey Knights and Imperial Agents, which is Sisters of Silence and Inquisition, yeah. All right, and then they're going to go through each of those with some painted examples. I hope Tyrannids play better in this edition, too. I hope there's just more balance between shooting and melee. Here's the Custodes. So you don't get 3, you only get 2. I think it literally is 2. Grey Knights. Forces of Chaos. I guess it is, well, no, this is the core book, so yeah, it's not specific. This isn't even the Octarius book, so it shouldn't be that specific. And then Chaos. So Death Guard, Thousand Suns, Chaos Demons, Chaos Space Marines, and then Cultists. Renegades. And gonna run a whole Cultist kill team. Oh yeah, that's the other thing, is they're having fire teams, like multiple fire teams make up a kill team. So you'll have, like, that's where your Poxwalkers and your Cultists go, is in the fodder, on the fodder team. Well, your fire team actually has some power. Yeah, see, the same sort of thing. So they're not mixed together. They're actually separate fire teams, and you can only take so many. Thousand Suns. Oh, no, they are covering everybody. They're just breaking it up in between Imperium, Chaos, and then other Xenos. Yeah, I guess they're just organizing it in a weird way. Works, and of course, they're all their new stuff. Yeah, that's weird. I don't think it... it's just a weird organizational titling they're using. But the same pictures we've seen of a lot of these forces. Okay, so yeah, so about that far in, and then we're at the rules themselves. So there it is, the tools of war. So there it is. So this is what we're dealing with now. So this is actually terrain. There's actually a lot of terrain on here. But here's combat gauges, and if you'll notice, there's no numbers on the combat gauges. There's shapes. So this is circle distance, this is square distance, and this is triangle distance. And then this is pentagon. Yes, it's a pentagon. This is pentagonal distance, the straight edge here. So here we go. Yeah, so here's the explanation of that down here. A triangle is 1 inch, a circle is 2 inches, a square is 3, and the pentagon is 6. So 1, 2, 3, 6. So why would they do this? What are they doing? So my suspicion is because it's very kind of half, it doesn't eliminate math. It doesn't eliminate any calculation or anything, and you're still rolling dice with those values that will go up and down on them. So, and also they're not eliminating translation. Like the cards aren't all symbols, as you saw when we were looking at the cards. Let me just pull one out. You know, the cards, it's still a ton of a English language card with a blue square on it. Yeah, I guess the color helps make sure you're interpreting the shape correctly. because they're written very small. So my suspicion is that at their last big shareholders meeting, they were announcing moving into China. So Games Workshop is moving into China. And I think the one thing that they didn't want to do, even though wargaming is standard in inches, and maybe this is, who knows? This is just a guess. This may be an experiment because this is now a boxed game. This isn't, this is just a chance to try this out. So Kill Team is a box game. They're not really treating it like mini 40K that you're going to, take those miniatures and move them into a larger scale game. And this eliminates them having to do a metric version and an imperial version, like inches and centimeters, because centimeters the numbers get a little weird and unruly much faster with longer distances than inches. And so war games have stuck to inches for a while, even though most countries that play these war games don't use inches. So it's got to be ridiculous to find things to measure your games with. But then they don't have to look so foreign in the Chinese market, and they don't have to admit, that they're using the American way to measure things. Formerly British, but now the American way to measure things. So I think it's a weird way. My suspicion is just it's a weird test to see if people swallow this, then they can start doing this for other, it seems like a weird half measure, and it doesn't make a lot of sense that they would do it, because visually, like, it doesn't really mean anything. And you could see on the tokens that they were using, triangles and squares and circles as well, but it doesn't seem to have a great connection to the actual system itself. And I think it's just a way to avoid putting inches. They'll put it in the book, and they'll probably put centimeters. They'll probably say, triangle is 25 millimeters or whatever. They'll probably list it that way. So if this is going to be like an early release to kind of get the Chinese market interested in how a game like this would play or whatever, that would make the most sense. It would be easier to localize. You would eliminate having to say inches in things. It's just my suspicion, because I think we're going to see a lot of this. I'm really not looking forward to what's going to happen when that move happens. Hopefully, being in Asia, I can have access to cheaper models and things, because that would be the one upside of their move into China. But I don't know. It's weird, and I just suspect that this has something to do with it, because it seems like a real half measure. These cards are so minimal and so silly. There's not even, it's just odd. I guess there's barely a little watermark under there. You can kind of see. Yeah, their little, that is in very faint black, very grayed black. So I don't know. It seems like there was some shift, and maybe their production is getting to such a scale that they have trouble pivoting when they need to make changes and things, when they realize that they wanted to get away from inches in a game, or try to just see, what would happen if we took the inches out of a game and just had these lengths that we were going to code in some way, and people would do that. So it may just be, a way to make it easier for them to globalize some of these games. That's my suspicion. I have no idea, but it's an odd thing, and I haven't played with it yet. I played with a couple of, I played with gauges like this for other games, and it's okay. And hopefully they made a good choice. How these, like pivoting these and counting certain distances, I hope works well. Yeah, but this is just odd, and it reminds me. Everything they're doing, it seems like they stole Fantasy Flight's playbook and have just decided to like imitate this stuff. And I don't think Fantasy Flight is particularly successful right now. I don't think they're doing amazing gangbusters. They had some dominance in the board game market for a while, but some of the choices on how they do things is pretty reckless and pretty greedy. And this kind of thing, like range rulers, custom range rulers that you have to play a game smells of Fantasy Flight, that kind of the way that they think about doing stuff. And also how they're going to sell expansions for this game may be very Fantasy Flight way. So if you want to get certain factions, you're buying big boxes. You're buying stuff that you don't want to buy, you don't need, or you don't want to buy, just to get specific cards or something for this game. That's very X-Wing and, you know, all of the nonsense that Fantasy Flight has done with trying to make people buy more than they need to play their specific setting game. But yeah, so this is the big change. So that means, you know, none of the old stuff works because the actual measuring system itself is totally different. So your stat lines and everything's are going to have shapes. They're not going to have inches, so you can't just convert things, whatever. Yeah, so here is what a data card looks like now in the game. So 3 circles, which what, 2 inches? So 6-inch movement, right? And then, you know, ranges and everything. And if a target is within 6 inches, which is red pentagon, yeah, then you can reroll. So they're taking some of the standard, which is odd. You know, it's making it much less, unless this is going to happen at 40K, they're making it much less a gateway, a stepping stone, a mini version of 40K by making the rules work like this. Now it's more of, it's a board game. You know, it's more like the Blackstone Fortress. You know, it changes it to its own thing. And so here's our 3 phases. Wow, yeah, so no relationship to 9th edition rules. So initiative phase, we ready operatives and determine initiative. So we're rolling that, yeah, every round. Strategy phase, we're generating command points, playing strategic ploys, and our targets are revealed. Firefight phase, we perform all of our actions. Yeah, which will be Overwatch. Our other actions will be universal, unique, mission, and free. So, calling normal move, a charge costs an AP. Fallback, dash. Yeah, so free actions, yeah, don't have any cost. Otherwise, things have an AP. Oh, that's right, and that's listed on the, we'll just take a quick. Oh wait, were there aren't data cards? Oh my god, there aren't data cards, are there? Yeah, that's what I thought. It's just 2 sets of these. There are no data cards. So the stats, the data cards are not actually cards. I guess maybe they want you to buy them separately or whatever. It's ridiculous. So yeah, let's take a quick look. So I already distracted myself. So what was I checking? The oh, action points. That's right. Yeah. So how many? Yeah. How many AP? So basically, yeah. How many AP? Each card is just a standard orc boy or commando boy. So 2 actions, and then so things cost actions. So in your firefight phase, you're spending your AP. So some things are free and some things have an AP cost. Shooting is 1. Passing, picking up, fighting. Wow. And so is there, yeah, there's no mention of psychic. They do have Grey Knights and they do have Psychers in there. Is that just a shooting attack now? Basically shooting? Yeah, interesting. There's because there's no psychic phase, they're not talking about. So I wonder if you have and if you resolve psychic abilities. Maybe not. Maybe they're taking that out as a complication, but that's an odd change if it is. Yeah, so oh, that's an injured token now. So wound tokens, controlling, so those are their objectives. Line of sight, concealed. Yeah, so their explanation of new line of sight, which is, it's always good to kind of get this as clear as possible. because that's where all the FAQs and errata usually address is judging line of sight. Yeah, it's going to be odd when we're just using these standard, these shape. Yeah, so yeah, elevation and stuff too is good to have as clear as possible because people are always, that's the way that they're cheating, is those distances. The example board. Huh, yeah, they must not have. An example terrain. Yep, all the stuff we've seen. Yeah, so this is the stuff that's in the new expansion box, the same. Or no, I'm sorry, it's not the industrial one. It's the it's this one. Yeah, these guys are the repeat. Right. So ways to play: open play, match play, narrative play. All right, so open play. Oh yeah, so they changed the sequence changes just a little bit between the different ones. Creating your own open play games. Yeah, that's really strange that in this box they're not going to give you the data cards for your units. So we're going to be handing the book back and forth to double check. Matched play. Oh, that's right, with the roster. So now you're building your list. And see, so this is how many operatives you can have in a kill team, because you're going to lose people and going to have to replace people. And so you don't actually have enough models to run a real matched play campaign. Oh, that's right, and scouting. Yeah, scouting becomes a thing. And then just narrative play. Narrative data cards. So it feels like there's things missing in this box. Like this isn't like the full experience. It's so odd when they're doing this stuff. Yeah, great. It's in the book. There you go. You couldn't make this separate or make that. Yeah. And then how experience works with the narrative. And so here's our symbols that you have to kind of memorize, because they don't say combat and marksman on the actual data cards themselves. They just have the symbol. So to know what unit is what. So a staunch, or a marksman, or a scout. And then how casualties work. Yeah, I hope this goes a little bit better. Oh, and battle scars. That's cool. I hope this goes a little bit better than the previous version. And your base of operations. So yeah, narratively you're going to have, yeah, just like Necromunda and Mordheim and Frostgrave and everything. You have your little base that does stuff for you, gives you assets, requisition, spec ops. And so yeah, here's your different spec ops: elimination, recover, perform ritual, demolish, infiltrate the enemy, purge, order, breakout, extractor, honor bound, secure district. Yeah, so those are chosen and give you additional points. Yeah, 3 requisition points. Yeah, so in requisition points are what you have to spend between games. And then narrative sequence. So yeah, they have scouting and narrative as well. Critical operations mission pack. So you roll D3 3 times, and that, yeah, gives you your, yeah, which table you roll on and then which mission on that table. So loot and salvage, consecration, and here's your deployments. Awaken the data spirits, escalating hostilities, seize ground. Oh yeah, see, they're even showing your deployments in shape. That's so weird. Seize ground, domination, secure archaeotech, duel of wits, master the terminals, and here's the tac ops. This as opposed to the spec ops. Yeah, they're leaning into the ops thing pretty heavy here. And these are on cards? Yeah, these, yeah. Wow. Something happened. This is definitely a production mess. So this card should look like this. And this card is just nonsense. Like, why isn't there a green header? Why isn't it? Yeah, because they could have oriented them. I don't understand the... I guess for laying them out, making it as tiny as possible. Yeah, it's odd. It's an odd minimalist choice. It seems like they just had to get those to the printer. Which is what happened. That was the Cursed City problem, wasn't it? That they were using different companies to print different things, and it got expensive once Brexit told them what they could and could not, what they were going to be taxed on things that came from out of the country. So yeah, the TACOPS security, search and destroy, infiltration, recon. So all of these are the cards, and then the appendix. So giving detail to all the kind of keywords: heavy, no cover, relentless. Yeah, giving you definitions of that. So there's a data card. So I guess, sure. You're just looking in the book and you can fill. Well, no, it actually doesn't give you. Yeah, that makes it so strange. So are you going to buy a red, a blue, and I guess you can't buy a white pen, but yeah, it's just odd. It's an odd choice. And I'm really suspicious about what. We have permission to photocopy. Yeah, what the motivation was to do this, and maybe it's just, yeah, can we distill this game down to no units of measurement, just our own abstract units of measurement. So yeah, so the printed in China rule book that they're also selling separately. Like, you didn't have to get this box to get into new Kill Team, although I don't know, it's doesn't seem like there's much to play unless you have Death Corps and Commandos. All right, so here's the campaign book, the setting, Octarius book. So an overflowing cauldron set over a raging inferno. So the Octarian War is our setting. I like the orky version of the Kill Team. That's good. So let's take just a quick look. So the catalog of woe. The meat grinder of Octarius. Yeah, so the rules for each of the two sides, all the special equipment and everything, and then the missions, and then data cards. Yeah, this is odd. Oh, I like how the orc one is already edited. Yeah, so this, so the stat lines. Yeah, that's a shame these can't be cards that you can just, I guess we're just gonna be looking these up all the time, and it's messy now. The stat lines are very messy because they've got shapes all over them. All right, so this is the field manual to provide you with information about the brutal conflict. So the Octarian War has engulfed hundreds of systems. It was artificially created by Inquisitor Cryptman between the orcs of the Octarian Empire and the Tyrannids of High Fleet Leviathan. He set out to have two xenospecies wipe each other out, but instead he made a monster. One that many observers in the Imperium believe would grow too powerful for mankind to ever corral or defeat. Nice. Well, there's some good thematic setting there. And I think this is, continuing in 40K. This is just kind of the very beginning of it, the introduction of it. Oh, look at that. Great art. So the catalog of woe. So talking about all the Octaria, Emush, Sigma, Ulstari, Faith is Strength, Imperial Navy is involved. So here's the meat grinder between the Imperium, the Orcs, the Tyrannids, the Genestealer Cult, Azurani, Drukhari. So they're limiting, like they did with some of their other setting books, like limiting the factions that are actually involved. The Astra Militarum. Good stuff. I wish it was all the colored art. Yeah, I love the painted. Millions of regiments. So Death Corps, Cadia, Katachan, Armageddon Steel Legion. Destroyan, Valhallan Ice Warriors, Talaran Desert Raiders. Wow, I wonder if they're going to do kill teams of all of these. Morty and Iron Guard. That would be great. Yeah, if they did specific releases. It seems like they're already moving on with another expansion, and it's not even the same setting. Yeah, so here's the first kill zone, and again, the same photos that we saw, but here's, I guess, everybody. Oh, and also shown painted differently. All right. Oh, that's right. And they did this with one of the previous 40k settings, having a name generator. I think even in the first kill team, maybe there was a name generator and traits to give you some personality and a little RPG element to the narrative kill team. And then the orcs, orc kill teams, explanation of all the clans. Nice, yeah, nice Commandos painting. Or illustration, I guess. And some more narrative. Interesting. Yeah, there's fiction in both of these books. Sneaky kits. Yeah, so there's none of the old. And none of the previous. Yeah, these are all new. The new guys. It's pretty close. I mean, a lot of the look. Yeah, there's a little more accurate. Yeah. It definitely has the same feel. These guys did have a ton of detail, though. I mean, I guess you're going to have to be putting a bunch of bits on these guys. But there is, on the originals, there's a ton of detail. So hopefully we can still recreate that. And then the name generator. The name of your kill team. The Brutal Jokers. All right, and then the rules specific to, yeah, veteran guardsmen, commandos, and then support. Yeah, so I would want cards for a lot of this stuff, and it just seems like they gave you just generic cards. I mean, maybe you can buy them separately. That's really deceptive, though, that they didn't include the really usable stuff to play, and they don't give you good access to digital versions of any of this stuff for printing. And here's our data cards with all kinds of circles. Yeah, so they're not eliminating any math. It's just they're eliminating saying inches or centimeters. That's all they're doing. Yeah, so I think we're going to be passing this book back and forth, because there's nowhere to write stat lines on the data sheets. You're just writing the name and the unit. Whether it's a comms veteran or what. And you're only getting, so everything is specialist based now, and you're only getting a choice of like one of each of them. And so for the most part, you're taking one of everything. And I guess there may be some strategy, or that may change with injuries and the full roster. And here's a listing of equipment. Spec Ops, specific to the veteran guardsmen. Yeah, so there should be cards for this stuff, or just an easier way to access some of it. And then in with the orcs. Yeah, the orcs are getting very yellow. The paint schemes on new orcs have a lot of yellow in them. Commando Grot, the Bomb Squig, those are great. Yeah, I love the Commando Grot. That's a great mini. So yeah, the Commandos spec op rules, their rare equipment and their assets. So there we go. Yeah, the oil pump, the ramshackle wall, the Speed Freaks terrain pieces. Yeah, those are straight from Speed Freaks. Shadow Operations, Octarius Mission Pack, Contour. Search and retrieve. Yeah, so there's very specific ways they want you to place the terrain because they know what terrain you have in this box. Fuel run. Eliminate target. Saboteurs. Yeah, and so then will there be specific rules for terrain? Yeah. Supply drop. Ambush. Oh, that's got interesting deployments. Evac inbound. And yeah, see a lot of the blue and red is attacker defender, so there's a lot of declaring attacker defender, which is a little bit different. I don't remember so much of that in the first Kill Team. And there we go. Yeah, so there's the data card. Yeah, there's just not places to write the stats. Just places to keep track of, you know, how much they've advanced. So yeah, we're still going to be, they should have, if they're going to standardize this or try to do something, they should have standardized a way to represent this stat line. Because this is what you need to know, and yeah, you're just, yeah, no, I guess it's the narrative data card. So yeah, you are just keeping track of XP basically. But yeah, that might be worth coming up with a card that you can put stats on as well. Yeah, I like the Orky corrections and backwards letters. All right, so that's the setting book, the Warzone Octarius book. And so they know the terrain you're going to have because it's included in the set, but they are doing a mini starter version of this too. So there's like a simplified, I don't know what. So not only do we have this wonderful new thing in our lives. So that was everything. That is everything that was in the box. And this, because I was hoping to get the people that I was playing first edition Kill Team with, I was hoping to get them with me on second edition. I don't know. I have no idea if that's even possible, and we're not even meeting in person yet. So yeah, Games Workshop really fought hard through this pandemic and made a lot of money. Yikes. And again, designed in the UK, they're gonna have to start taking this off and just putting a big hammer and sickle or whatever here. Printed in China. This book, the Japanese price of this book was insane. Almost $70 for this. They print these books in Japan much higher quality. They print softcover books with like nice dust jackets and everything. $20, you know, 2,000 yen, $20. This was almost 70. Full color books. I mean, this is like triple the price of anything, and printed in Japan, which is such a superior, you know, print quality you can't even imagine. So yeah, this was very frustrating because this is exactly like the indexes that came out early 8th edition when they were just tiding everybody over. And yeah, you can still use your armies and your minis, and here's some half-assed, put together, barely functional rules for using your armies in this new edition, and that's exactly what this is. So let's see what their excuse is, right? So Countless World, Infinite Wars, just a handful of heroes. So inside you'll find, for all of these factions, you will find these stat lines, and it's basically a lot of copy and pasting, and it's not, I don't think there's any flavor or anything done. So for each kill team, this includes the data cards of its operative, the bespoke strategic and tactical ploys to capture unique methods of waging skirmish war, and a selection of equipment to personalize the kill teams at hand. So let's hope that that is actually making it worthwhile. When I just flipped through this initially, I was like, I can't believe this is an index. This is one of those now completely useless indexes that were floating around. So there's everybody that they're representing. And so Kill Team data card ploys and equipment. All right. So starting with the Space Marines. Yeah, so this is how they're doing it. So a Space Marine kill team consists of one fire team from the following list: Intercessors, Assault Intercessors, Incursor, Infiltrator, Reaver, Heavy Intercessor, Tactical Marine, Scout, or Death Watch. So Death Watch isn't its own kill team. It's now just in Space Marines. And so you choose one of these groups to put together. So it's not going to flavor, like chapters aren't going to have flavor or anything. Just types of Marines will basically have flavor because of the equipment. So that was a little bit disappointing because I really liked what they did with the ammo types and things for Death Watch were really fun in previous kill team. Yeah, so descriptions of Tactical Marine. So if you go Tactical Marine, you have the same kind of thing. So Warrior, Gunner, Heavy Gunner, Marine Warrior, and that of course gives you your melee focus or your heavy access to the heavy weapon equipment. So it's just a bunch of these stats for all of the rules and equipment ranges and everything. So another book to pass back and forth so you can see what everything does until you get it memorized. But a lot of copy paste. So I can't believe how expensive this was, and I can't believe how vanilla, generic, and uninteresting it is. Yeah, Death Watch, and of course, though this was in the Kill Team box. Their plugin, plugin Warhammer Plus, and that'll be another video. Warhammer Plus. We'll have to make a video about that. Although it'll instantly get demonetized because they're doing the copyright claims on anybody showing any of that content. Yeah, so they've got kind of sort of strategic ploy Space Marines. See, it's a shame the stuff that was lost, because there should be Death Watch ammo, and there's a lot of stuff. So there's Grey Knights. So yeah, and then Imperial Guard. So Grey Knights get a little difference, but there's not. Why are they including Grey Knights if there are no? Oh, there is. Okay, there's psychic power. So that wasn't in the rules. That was odd. So psychic action. Yeah, I didn't see psychic action listed in the rules. Resolve a Grey Knight's psychic power specified on page 31. Let's take a look at those. 31 of the rule book. No, of here. Yeah, so there we go. So 3 psychic powers. Each friendly Grey Knight's operative can perform manifest psychic powers. Action, select one. I guess it just takes... They didn't say where this takes place. Yeah, but Armored Resilience, Hammerhead, and Astral Aim. Yeah, so there are psychic powers. So just a moment. So did that happen? So if we're talking about, not narrative, I guess matched. If we're talking about matched play, and there's the roster, and that's all the setup. No, that would have been in the core. Yeah, that would have just been in the core rules. So here's our structure. So strategy, firefight. It has to take place in firefight. I guess it's... Oh yeah, there it is. And manifesting psychic powers. So perform an action. Yeah, did I just totally miss it? I guess it's just, yeah. Because it was its own phase last time, there was a lot more attention to it. Yeah, that's weird. It doesn't... Yeah, it's just weirdly missing. I guess, yeah, it just happens during firefight and you just spend the AP. At the same time, yeah. There's no mention of psychic ability, so it doesn't... Until here, we didn't see anything about it. They just said manifest powerful psychic abilities. But I guess because Commandos and Death Krieg don't have them. They didn't think it was going to be important to have in the core rulebook. That's an odd. Guardsmen. Their ploys and strategies. Forge World Kill Team. So the Yaskatari, the Adeptus Mechanicus. Yeah, so oh that's right, and then they separate. So it eliminates so many models from Kill Team. Like the previous Kill Teams and things are just, it seems very different now. So you're either Ruststalkers or Infiltrators, and Infiltrators can be Skitarii or the Vanguards, the Rangers of the Vanguards. That's it. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird how they limited things and they broke the fire teams up. Here's Sororitas. Yeah, I just don't know how they're going to sell models. I guess they're just going to have prefab narrative boxes. And then the people that want to play competitively will, piece stuff together. However, but yeah, I was just disappointed in the models that aren't used or can't be used anymore. The Talons, so the Sisters of Silence, and the Custodes. Yeah, and then, yeah, their ploys and equipment. Yeah, there's no double checking. Do they have... Yeah, there's nothing about... Let me just see in the equipment for... Yeah, no ammo. Yeah, for Space Marines. Yeah, that was a real fun part of Death Watch, and it's gone. Yeah, so, and then Chaos Space Marines. These are all the newer guys. The cultists aren't. The cultists are terrible. Yeah, and I did Death Guard as well. Played Death Guard, and so it's, yeah, just really feels very boring and limited now. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, you're doing either the Plague Marines or Poxwalkers on the fire team. So you just have a team of, I think it was like 4 Poxwalkers. It was just, the list building was more fun, I think, before. But we'll see if I ever even get this to the table. Yeah, Thousand Suns. So they've got 4. Oh, they've got 4 psychic powers. Yeah, it's a shoot. Yeah. So it just happens as it's a shoot action. They're calling psychic powers a shoot action. I had a feeling they would. That's why there's no mention of psychic powers, because if they've got them, it's specified, and you just perform a shoot action, a free shoot action. Wow, so you get to shoot for an AP, and then you also get to shoot for free with your psychic. Yeah, so the first time a friendly Thousand Suns aspiring sorcerer operative manifests psychic power action. Each of his activations, select 1 power. Second time it manifests action for each of activations. Roll d6. On a 1 to 2, the operative suffers 3 mortal wounds. On a 3 up, select the psychic power from the list. So for the second time, you have a chance of perils of the warp kind of stuff. Wow, 3 mortal wounds? Oh, that's right. That's how things are changed too. You're keeping track of a lot of wounds. These are the wounds, right? Yeah. Yeah, 10 or 12, 13 wounds. Yeah, so it's making the character much more durable, and yeah, you can be more strategic. It's not just, oh, you're wounded, oh, you're dead. Yeah, it's not just one hit takedowns. Yeah, and a lot of stuff is oh, and that's right, in damage, they all the damage as a slash, it's all normal range, half range, which, yeah, figuring that out on the gauge is great. So it's either what, pentagon or circle, square, or whatever. Yeah, circle, I think. Yeah, it's great. So there's 1,000 Suns. I think it's the same thing. They just separated between the Marines and the Marines and come on, and the Zangors. All right. Chaos Demons. Look at all those bloodletters. Oh, so you can have mixed. Yeah, maybe you can have mixed demons at least. Yeah, but the things might not affect each other. So is there psychic? But there's no psychic powers for demons. Huh. All right. Yeah, it just seems like they're making it harder to, do stuff with existing models. I don't like that thing. All right, Craft World. We're into the Eldar. All right. And then the place for Eldar, and then here's Drakari. Or the Dark Eldar, as most people still want to call them. And the Harlequins. And then just plain orcs, non-commando orcs. All right, sorry, let me just check here. All right. Yeah, so looters and burner boys, spanner. And their equipment and stuff, Tomb Worlds, Necrons. Yeah, none of these are the new models, or maybe these guys are. That's right, because there was a Kill Team Necron box that came out right before this, right before the new rules change. That seemed to be really poorly managed, and it had the flayed ones in it, but it was crazy expensive, and then, yeah. I don't know, maybe they'd come out in boxes by themselves. But that was the only way to get flayed ones for your new Necron army. Tau. Yeah, so we've got Gene Stealers and Tau and a lot of extra teams that I don't know if many of those models would be very useful. Yeah, I'll have to see what's in that. From the previous version, they had like Kill Team boxes with the tactics cards and things in them. And yeah, I don't know if those will be convertible or those will move right over. Yeah, really silly how they priced a lot of these books and stuff. Yeah, so this is just, reminds me so much of the indexes that came out, and they broke those up into 3 different books as well. I mean, it was such minimal information, and yeah, 3 different books. So Tyrannids. Oh wait, there they are. I was gonna say no Gene Stealers. That was they were in the box. Yeah, they were the other team in the original starter box. All right, yeah, so and adding some of their kind of expensive is the Aberrant, because that was a real damage dealer in the previous version. Was the Aberrant. Yeah, I don't think so. Weird. Yeah, so there's just stuff that's not in. I mean, maybe they're going to do a release and include that, but I mean, this is absolutely insane, and it was just because I was hoping to, kind of convert what we were already doing over, and this is just criminal. This kind of nonsense, and the fact that it's it's printed in China, it's nonsense. This is very ridiculous, and I don't like what's happening to the prices and everything. This kind of stuff is just real bad, and I don't know, maybe they're just getting a little too big for their what they're trying to manage, and so they're just going to keep making these greedy mistakes constantly. All of this could have been put online for free to get people to move to the new Kill Team, and at least buy the core book and whatever. But when have they ever? But it's all worth it because look at the nonsense that's included in the... And I think if you'd still buy made to order, this is still available. They didn't do anything limited with this. What is this? Well, you got your plastic, right? You got your plastic range, your battle gauge here. And this is something that's going to be passed down to my grandchildren, I have a feeling. I have a feeling this will be found in a box of my most valuable possessions. And inside, my grandchildren they'll undo the little magnetic seal and they'll find a metal battle gauge. Well, look at that. At least I put some art on the inside. I don't know. How does this even come out of here? It's sealed against time. What is going on? Is there a sleeve over this? What a nice unboxing. Okay, well, we get the idea. Wow. Yeah, I want to feel the weight of this. Oh, man. Yeah, they protected it pretty well. Okay, yeah, it's just a... it doesn't... I was expecting the whole thing to come out and it'd be like a sleeve. All right, well, that's metal, and it's got kind of a little bit of a finish on it. There's a, like a little bit of a patina. So, yeah, I guess... Oh, interesting. Yeah, they couldn't do it as thick. Yeah, you can't really see. The plastic one is very thick. It's like almost at least 5 millimeters, and this is literally 2 millimeters. It makes it easier to sharpen to a fine edge. Yeah, they could have made this. They could have actually made the metal one this heavy. That would have been nice. So like 2 of these together would have been a nice weighted battle gauge. Yeah, so this is all they did. Wow. Yeah, so, and it's not even, they didn't even do the opposite, like the skull, the size is the same. Yeah, they really didn't even care. This should have been twice as thick, and it should have been different on either side. Too bad. Well, my grandchildren will be so disappointed when they find this. But yeah, this was their value added little premium thing for ordering it, which is, probably all over eBay at silly prices. Let me just take a quick look. Oh yeah, here we go. We have a comparison here. So here's a, what is this, an 8th edition gauge. So yeah, this has a little bit more. This was in the limited 8th edition rules box, the Munitorium deal. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I wonder what the thinking was. But I like the this is kind of slippery. This almost has like a plasticky kind of coating on it. This is more rough and patinaed, and it says negotiation is surrender on it. But yeah, so this is the for 40K because you've got inch to. Oh yeah, they just marked it off. Yeah, why didn't they just do that? Just say units. You don't have to. Yeah, maybe my theory is no good, because maybe they didn't actually have to do that. Yeah, so it's okay. I mean, it doesn't feel all that much nicer than the plastic one. The plastic one's actually chunkier. It's not much heavier either. But yeah, this was packed in, so I'm sure if you need one of these, eBay is your place to go. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this feels. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like, the fact that, to do 6, you're just, you're going to be doing this to kind of, measure. But it's actually with ranges and stuff, it's going to be up to 6. I guess you're using this. Oh, that's right. So you've got this gauge. You've got this, but you don't have this in metal. I guess that's for the next pre-order. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand this move. I think it'll all become clear once we see how they're going to approach the future of some of the measuring in their games. And this is a board game, so it may just be an experiment because they don't care anymore. But yeah, this was the look at our second edition Kill Team. So there's more stuff coming out for this, like a starter set. This is like actually, for the setting. But there's a starter set coming out that it just includes the models and I think the scatter terrain, or maybe just the barricades. It maybe just has the barricades that are on this. So maybe this sprue and then the miniatures and very minimal, like a trimmed down rule book, maybe a fluffless rule book or whatever, because it doesn't have to talk about anything. And so it just has the basic ways to play and deployments and everything. So no cards or anything, but yeah, so there's a starter to get you into this or get you into these. So I don't know what's going on with these guys. I'm going to just wait and see. I think this is going to be my last Warhammer purchase for quite a while, especially if this doesn't get to the table. I really wanted to see these guys in plastic and own them in plastic, because I've got all of them in resin. So yeah, let's do a little I guess I can just keep them on the little thing I've got. So here's my original little Commando boys. We'll just go around, but this is the set that you got of Finecast, and like I said, I didn't get around to finishing these guys up, so they're just all contrast. They're just all contrast paints with no highlights or anything. And you can tell some of the metal and stuff needs fixed. But yeah, these guys had a lot of personality. I love the leader with the cigar. These guys had a lot of personality, and I think some of that looks like it's in the new guys. They're a little more generic, a little more sterile. But these, especially when I first got the raw resin, like when I got them unpainted and was assembling them, they're almost like a sculptural sketch. Like there's some really rough lines and really rough details on some of these. So they're very different from I think what a plastic miniature kit is going to be. They have a little bit more personality because they're kind of rough sculpts. Some of the edges and stuff, I was surprised they don't have a real finished quality in some points. But yeah, so I was excited to see a finished version of these, and really excited to play Kill Team, Commandos and Kill Team, which I think you could do in the previous version, but it was kind of bullshit rules, the half-ass indexy kind of rules. But look at that. One thing I got to say about the contrast paints is I love snakebite leather. So all the rawhide and leather straps and stuff I did with snakebite, I love how that looks. It's got a nice like honey color, but it also gives you nice, looks like water stained and worn out and dirty leather. It's got a real nice quality. So for straps and belts and stuff, I really like snakebite leather. For contrast, it seems to save you a couple of steps, and even for like the gas mask, that works pretty well. But yeah, not all contrast paints are made equally. Yes, so some real disappointments in this box. I think just like everything else, they're getting caught with their pants down, but they just keep cranking it out because they want to, make those shareholders happy. Yeah, these are really low quality. Like even the quality of the cards themselves. This is a real throwaway add-in. They just want to say there's cards. We'll have to take a look and see what the actual cards are, because these were not worth it at all. And maybe they did a cheap version because they wanted to sell a premium version. But we'll see, and I will let you know if we ever get to playing this game. But yeah, and I'm interested in a rules comparison, and it would actually be fun to do a kind of evolution of this, starting with the Blood War. So Blood War first edition Kill Team, and then second edition Kill Team, and try to see like design wise what they're trying to do or where they're headed for. So I just hope these rules play a little bit better and aren't as wacky as first edition Kill Team got. There was a lot of rules fights, similar I guess to 40k, that happened. So we'll see. But I don't know. I'm liking the look of the miniatures, and the terrain is wonderfully orky and fun, so we'll see. But this has been Kill Team. So the whole big old box. And yeah, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by giving me a like and sharing it to anyone that wants to see everything that's in this box, and also the silliness that is Compendium. And also subscribe to the channel if you want to get updates on when we go live again. So we do unboxings, unboxing live streams, and the weekly that we do as a live stream as well. So you can hear Chris and I do a weekly rundown of things on the tabletop. And you can follow us on Twitter at Upturned Table, and Upturned Tabletop, I believe, on Twitch, and Upturned Table on YouTube to see everything that we've been doing. So reviews and lore. The newest thing that we have is Mutant Chronicles fiction. So audio, dramatic audio presentations of the fiction from the first series is from the first edition Warzone Dark Eden. So all of the tribes of Old Earth, a story for each of the tribes, so 4 parts of kind of an interconnected set of stories about the conflict between tribes of Old Earth. So that's what I would have much more preferred to be opening right now, is a is a Warzone Eternal box. So Res Nova, please get to it, because that will get to the table, I think, a lot faster than Kill Team. So I got some work to do trying to get everybody back into trying, interested in trying this rule set out again. And I don't think I'm going to be buying any more Chinese softcover books again. This is silly. And so we'll see. Games Workshop, please prove me wrong. I hope you can kind of step things up and not try to gouge people in silly ways. I mean, everyone's willing to pay for your models and your game systems and this kind of stuff. Yuck. All right. But thanks again for watching, and we'll be back again soon. So take care, and see you soon. Goodbye.